On the first day of tryouts, my pants were falling. It's for the plot. No, I don't want to remember it. What's up, guys? My name is Jamie. I graduated high school about a month ago now, and I think I've had enough time to reflect on my experience. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of things I wish I knew about high school before and during those years. It seems like this video is specifically for incoming high school freshmen, but it's actually for anyone in high school or literally anyone in general, because it doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, some of these things might just help you get a different perspective on life. Before we get started, I would just like to put a disclaimer that everyone's experience is different, and I am basing these points off of my own experiences, so this is just one perspective to look at out of many others. Also, if it looks like I'm reading off something, it's because I have my computer and I wrote down like all of the things I wish I knew so that I don't miss any points and what I want to say about each one. It is not in any specific order. It was just what came to mind first when I was writing this up. Number 1, consistency is key. This can apply to anything, but I'm going to talk about it in terms of academic. I think people say this a lot, that consistency is key, but it really is important, like more important than you would think. I felt it the most during my freshman year in high school when we were fully online and doing Zoom calls. So everyone just went to sleep behind the camera in class. And I'm gonna sound a little bit actually here, but I turned on my camera every single day for every single class, even if the teachers didn't ask us to, because I felt like it was the only way for me to keep myself in check when we were online and doing all that. But keeping myself in check just by turning on my camera every day, like, it worked. Like, staying consistent like that worked for me. It kept me motivated during a time like that because I felt like I had a purpose for waking up every day. Oh, that sounds a little... I don't know what the word is. Let's just move on. Number 2, talk to your teachers. Hear me out. You don't have to be a teacher's pet, but it will go a long way if you form bonds with your teachers in the sense that you're comfortable asking them questions about class, but you can also talk to them about your life outside of school. It could just be what sports you watch or your taste in music, literally anything really, because being comfortable enough to talk to your teachers, who are supposed to be trusted adults, will make your high school experience more tolerable. I didn't really have that experience, like that kind of bond with any of my teachers, but I've seen the impact it's had on like some of my friends and classmates who were able to talk to their teachers like that. The closest I had to it was I had a teacher freshman year who was the advisor for a club that one of my best friends, Liv, and I started sophomore year, and we were kind of like this with that teacher. But then she left the school junior year, and yeah, I was gonna ask her to hand me my diploma for graduation, but then she left, and it was so sad. Talk to your teachers. It could be something small, like if you point out the decorations in the room or something like that, because they probably have a reason for putting up those decorations in the room, and that's one way you can start a conversation with them so that you can form that bond that I missed out on. Number 3, try things out. Wait. Try new things out. I've had my fair share of trying things out in high school. Some of the things I've tried out include joining clubs. Even if I didn't have any friends to join the club with me, I just joined the club myself. And joining a sports team, and what else? Oh, working a part-time job. Stuff like that. I'll go more into depth on them in a little bit, but while we're talking about trying new things out, one of the big things that was very new for me that I tried out for was softball. Softball was like completely new to me. Like, before sophomore year, I didn't even own a softball glove. I didn't own anything, actually. I didn't own any softball equipment. I never even practiced with a softball, like the ball. I've never hit a softball pitch. All that, okay? So why the hell did I try out for softball? When I was a kid, I played recreational baseball. I'm gonna call it baseball because it was boys and girls. It was a boys and girls like mixed baseball, but we didn't even use real baseballs. We used like pitching machine balls, but it's hard to explain. It was a free summer baseball program, and that was the closest experience I had to softball. That was like, ooh, how old was I? That was maybe like 5 years before I tried out for the softball team. The recreational baseball I played as a kid wasn't competitive at all. All they taught you was how to throw, how to hit. That's basically it. They didn't really teach you how to play each position and all that. It was just for fun. So softball was completely new to me. On the first day of tryouts, my pants were falling. I didn't have a belt. So every time I threw the ball, my pants were falling. I didn't buy the softball socks yet, so I had normal socks on. And if you know what baseball softball pants look like, they're like capri pants. I didn't even have the right shoes, or the right bat, or a good enough size glove. But I didn't know all of this because I was so new to it. I guess I'll do a little bit of a softball lesson in case you're also new to softball and you want to try out when you're in high school. So the shoes I had were rubber cleats. That's what I used for recreational baseball. So I was like, okay, I'm good. But in like the bigger leagues, I guess, the more where you actually play competitively, they use metal spikes, not rubber cleats. So I was like the only one on the team with rubber cleats. And then for the bat, they don't use a metal bat because that's considered like recreational baseball. So I had a metal bat, and then my coach was like, oh, you should use a composition bat. I think that's what it's called. But it's different material, and it's like 3 times as expensive. And I didn't have it. And I was like, for all of my softball career, I borrowed a teammate softball bat because it was the right one and it was better. But what I'm trying to get at here is it was a completely new thing, and it definitely humbling, but it was important for me to try it out on my own and get that experience, that learning experience, and that experience of like playing a sport while in high school and being on a team with a bunch of different people with different skill levels. A lot of my teammates were pretty good because they played travel softball, which is like the competitive one, and they were also really kind because I had a classmate from middle school who I knew played softball. She was like the only girl I knew that played softball, and before I tried out for the team, I asked her about it. I was like, hey, I'm interested in trying out for the softball team. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And she was so nice about it and supportive, and she was the only one I knew on that whole team. So it was really hard for me to get comfortable with it, but it's something I don't regret trying because, yeah. So when you try new things out, it's not exactly about the outcome, whether it's positive or negative, whether you like it or not. It's about what you learn from that experience from when you tried out. This sounds a little bit corny coming from me. Like, I'm just a kid, honestly, but I've still experienced these things. So I'm just trying to help you out here. This time of your life is kind of the perfect time to be trying things out. You're like starting high school when you're 13, 14. Like, you're a teenager, and then you graduate, you're either 17 or an adult. Those years are like the perfect time for you to try out whatever you want and learn from it, and that'll help you discover what you really want to do in the future and what's really worth your time. I know it might seem a little scary, trust me, I've been there. My pants were falling during softball tryouts, but I'm not gonna say not to try it because I don't regret it, because I can look back at that time now and laugh a little. But just try new things out. This kind of goes into the next tip, number 4. Don't keep suffocating yourself if things don't work out. In other words, don't burn yourself out. So, about that, quite a few of my extracurriculars I ended up dropping. Continuing what I said about softball, I played softball sophomore and junior year of high school, and then I chose not to try out senior year for a lot of reasons, some of which I still can't put into words. At some point I stopped having fun playing softball because of how it made me feel, but I feel like the things going on around me in my life also played a role into that. Yeah, one of the things was I was juggling softball, my part-time job, the club I was running, and school 24/7. And that was one of the big things that burnt me out, juggling everything. But as individual extracurriculars, some of the extracurriculars I did, they all have a reason for me choosing to stop doing them. The reason I stopped playing softball, the sport itself was fun. Like I had my moments playing softball, and my teammates were all good people as individuals, and they were all very kind and supportive and humbled despite how good a lot of them were. They were all amazing people. So it wasn't them, it wasn't the sport, it was just me. I was a problem, guys. So softball, it made me feel like I was trying to change myself to fit in with the rest of the team, and I never really felt like I could just fully be myself around them. Like I said, they were all amazing people. It just felt like I wasn't really being myself around them. I was like hiding who I really was, trying so hard to fit in with them. I feel like our life experiences were quite different, so that's what made it harder to connect fully with them. There was also other factors about the team that made me quit. Sometimes the team low-key said stuff that I didn't agree with, but I couldn't say I didn't agree with it because the whole team basically already came to their own conclusion. So if I said I didn't agree with it, they would have been like, whoa. That's why I feel like I had to hold myself back. I had to hold my opinions back when I was on that team. They never knew that, unless they're watching this video. And if they're watching this video, it's okay. There were a couple of other upperclassmen that quit the team before I did. Like some of my teammates thought they quit the team for this reason, but because of how I was feeling about softball, I knew that wasn't really the reason. So it wasn't just me, but it's a learning experience, and it was draining me, so I quit. I also quit my part-time job senior year. I was working from the beginning of junior year all the way to the end of senior year. That part-time job, it taught me a lot, and it gave me a lot of experience. It was another really draining thing, but that wasn't just it. It wasn't just draining me, but I'm grateful for everything that part-time job taught me and the people that I met there, my coworkers and my managers. I'm very grateful for that opportunity, but there are reasons why I quit, and I'm glad I did. So you should know that it's like okay. It's okay to quit. I started working when I was 15, and I was just a kid while I was working there. Don't burn yourself out. Once again, I wasn't the only one that quit. All of the coworkers I worked with there have quit by now. A few of my coworkers quit before me, and then I was working with my friend Angel at that place, and yeah, he quit not long after me too. I'm still, once again, grateful for that opportunity to work there and that new experience, but I didn't want to keep suffocating myself, so I quit. This didn't really apply to me, like that college pressure of getting into a top school, like you have to get into a really good school no matter what. Like I understand that pressure, but that wasn't one of the huge things for me. Like I'm going to community college. I made a whole college admissions video before this video, but I kind of privated it. But if you want to watch it, let me know. Maybe I'll make it public again. I talked more about my decision to go to community college in that video, but not in this video because that was a really long video already. It might be easy to get caught up in that college pressure of like you have to do everything you possibly can to get into a good school, but I advise that you don't do that. Like don't just pick up anything you can because you want to put it on your college application. You should be finding actual value in the things you're doing. Like you don't have to do like 20 things in high school. I'm no college admissions officer, but once again, that is my opinion. do what you find worth your time. Everything I did was not for the college applications. Everything I did was what I wanted to do. So that's why I have no regrets. Basically, just know your limits and focus on your health, because you can't give it your all if you're not at your best. Number 5, remember your why. This was very important for me when I was going through that time where I was juggling a lot of things in my life, and I had a lot of self-doubt, playing softball and working and going to school and running a club and all that. That's why I had a lot of self-doubt. That's why I was like, what am I doing? What? I have no time. Remembering my why is what helped me get through everything, and what helped me come to the realization that I was burning myself out. To remember your why, you can just take the time to do things that you lost the time to do. In cases like mine, where your life just became so busy that you lost your free time, take the time to do what you used to do in your free time, and don't think about anything else. Like, just for a second, just don't think about all of your priorities. And for me personally, what helped me remember my why was my cousins, because I met with my cousins after a really long time and we were catching up, and I grew up with them. So being able to catch up with them after a really long time and being like, we were like spilling tea about our lives to each other, and despite how long it's been since we've seen each other, that bond was like always there. And that's what helped me remember my why, and that's what kept me going. So you should remember your why too when you're going through tough times in high school, because trust me, there are a lot. Number 6, drop the drama. I didn't have that much. I was never, okay, hold on. I wasn't directly involved in any drama in high school, but I was friends with people that had drama, and it was kind of like drama by association. In high school, there's so much going on, and you're preparing for your next stage of your life, so just drop the drama. You don't need drama. If you love drama so much, go watch a K-drama or something. High school drama on top of high school is too much. Don't get yourself involved in it. And here's how. If you had loose ties in middle school, don't bring it into high school. Like, if you had drama in middle school, let it go. Apologize. Even if you're not in the wrong, that's the way to let it go. Mature. Be an adult. Wait, hold on. You're 14. Be the bigger person. So, me personally, I did have loose ties in middle school. So I would slide into people's DMs and I'd be like, hey, I don't know what the hell happened to us in middle school, but I'd rather we don't have that anymore. And it's crazy because I have 2 pretty close friends today that I did have drama with in middle school, and we resolved it by what I just told you. I slid into their DMs. Both of them, I slid into their DMs and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to us in middle school, but we were good friends and I don't want there to be any loose strings between us. So we don't have to be friends again, but can we just drop that? And today I'm like really close friends with both of them. What I was saying about apologizing, like, okay, you might seem like a little bit of a pushover, but I swear it works. You have to have some maturity of your own too. Like, you shouldn't be apologizing just to make yourself feel better. Like, don't do that. If you think you're apologizing just to make yourself better, then reflect on this. Do you expect them to accept your apology or not? And if you don't expect them to accept your apology, then you're good. Like, you're not doing it to make yourself feel better. But if you do expect them to accept your apology, then you're just doing it for yourself. And I don't think you should really do that. There is this guy in middle school that I rejected, and he kind of hated me afterwards. I think he hated me a lot after I rejected him. I didn't do anything. I just rejected him. And honestly, he was really mean to me in middle school. So when he asked me out, I was like, bro, you're like my bully. When we got into high school, I apologized to him because of it being kind of awkward after he rejected me. And this was also through Instagram DMs. And he responded, K, capital K. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He doesn't have to accept my apology. Don't spread rumors and mind your own business. If you're not part of the drama, then stay the hell out of it. I think that's common sense that unfortunately people lack. One of the big things is, like, you might hear rumors, about people, you definitely don't know the full story. You just heard it from someone, and chances are that someone you heard it from also doesn't know the full story. And then no one knows the full story. So don't spread rumors, and if you hear them, take it lightly. Like, it might be inevitable that you hear them and you might come to conclusions already, but just take it lightly because you have no idea where it's based off of. And guys, I'm not perfect. I've definitely heard rumors and I've been like, oh, that sounds believable. Like, that's just the truth. Sometimes I hear rumors and I'm like, oh no. But I advise you to not think that way. There's this one classmate I had who a lot of people said a lot of bad stuff about them. Like, there was always drama surrounding them. But I met them more personally as a classmate at some point, and I talked to them a lot more than the people that were spreading the rumors about them. And I got to know them more as a person, and they're like the baseline of me realizing, oh, what they're saying is not true. It's definitely getting twisted because I know this person, and I'm gonna make my own judgment of them instead of making my judgment based on what other people say about them. Number 7, make small talk / shoot your shot. I guess this goes towards friends and crushes and stuff like that. Yeah, make small talk. This is how you make friends, guys. I didn't have that many friends, but trust me, this is how you make friends. No. Oh, I based this off of how I met one of my best friends, Mina. We met by like small talk. So it could be one of your classmates and be like, hey, what classes do you have? What's your next class? That's exactly how I met Mina. Wait, I'll go back to that a little bit more. But shoot your shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't make. I don't know who said that, but yeah, that quote. Oh yeah, when you're becoming friends with someone or you want to form a relationship with someone, the other side has to want to become friends with you too, but you should at least do your part and try becoming friends with them, because maybe they're just too scared to make the first move. Like, when I met Mina, she was the first one to talk to me. I think I was really shy when I met her, so I'm glad she was the first one to talk to me, and because of that, I was interested in becoming friends with her, and she was too, and that's how we became friends. However, there are boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. So once you can tell the other person's not interested, both in friendships and like crushes, don't cross the line. Accept rejection. I have plenty of experience with this. Accept rejection, learn from your experience, and move on, period. It'll be easier that way. The faster you move on, the easier it is. As Liv said, Liv is also my best friend. If it's really meant to be, then they'll come into your lives later. Something like that. Yeah. Don't stay stuck on it. The longer you're stuck on it, the harder it'll be to move on. You just have to... Actually, I can't really give advice on how to move on because I wasn't really good at that. Shoot your shot. If you have a crush, shoot your shot. If you get shot down, it's okay. It's for the plot. I've had my share, guys. I've shot my shot. I've shot shots down, and I've been shot down. I've had it all. I don't regret shooting my shots at all, because at least I tried. At least I got a response instead of thinking, oh, what could have been, stuff like that. I have no regret. Number 8. Quality is better than quantity. This can refer to a lot of different things, but specifically, I'm going to talk about friends. Yay! It really speaks to my high school experience. So, I had like 2 friends, Mina and Liv, and at some point, Liv was my only friend because I hadn't met Mina yet. Freshman and sophomore year, Liv was like my only friend, and I met Mina sophomore year, so that's the year that we got closer. Basically, for a while, I only had 2 friends. Like, even when I made a couple more friends junior year and senior year, I still had very few friends. But because I didn't have that many friends, I knew for sure who had my back, and I never worried about who was talking behind my back because I trusted my friends, because quality over quantity. I never had a friend group. I was like friends with people in friend groups. Like, they would be in the same friend group, and I'd be friends with them, but I'm not in the friend group. Like, there was one friend group specifically, I was friends with literally every single person in that friend group, except one person, just because we never had classes together, so we never really got to get close. Otherwise, I was friends with literally every single person in that friend group, but I wasn't part of the friend group, and I was fine with that. So about quality being better than quantity, you should focus on strengthening your relationship with a few friends you find worth your time rather than building the quantity of your friends. And those relationships with a few friends will be worth so much more than the half-assed relationships you have with so many other people that you can't even keep count of them. Like, guys, I can count all my friends on my fingers. This is kind of related to the friendship thing. Number 9. Learn to spend some time alone. Even if you do have friends, I feel like it would be worth learning how to spend some time alone. Let me explain why. I spent a lot of time alone in high school. Sophomore year, I ate lunch alone. Otherwise, I would have starved because I only ate lunch because I had softball practice, and if I didn't eat, I would have collapsed. This was at the time where Liv was like my only friend. She couldn't eat lunch with me for different reasons, but I'm not gonna go into that because that's just personal. But she was my only friend at that time, so since she couldn't eat lunch with me, I ate alone outside the library. No, I don't want to remember it. This was also a humbling time. I felt really lonely at this time, but reflecting back, I'm glad I had that alone time, and I'll explain why in just a second as well. Eating lunch alone wasn't the only thing. I joined clubs alone, but one of the clubs I joined was for community service hours, low-key, but I knew the president because she was an upperclassman of mine. I joined that club alone, which was another very lonely thing, but I eventually became the president of that club. If I never joined that club, despite being alone, then I would have maybe never become president of it. So when you spend time alone, you learn a lot more about yourself. During that time, I did learn a lot more about myself. I had a lot more time to just sit and think. When you have no one else to talk to but yourself, you really learn about yourself. You get what I mean? When you learn to spend time by yourself, you'll be a better listener because you don't hear other people talk to you that often. So when you do hear people talk to you, then you listen. Oh, this sounds really lonely. It's a good thing. Being a better listener is a good thing. Once again, I'm not perfect. I feel like I did become a better listener, but I'm still trying to become better. You'll be able to see things from a clearer perspective when you spend so much time alone, and that will help your relationships with other people, because being able to reflect after spending so much time alone is what allowed me to broaden my horizons. And I feel like it really did help my relationships with people. So yeah, learn to spend some time alone. Because I know there are people out there that find it uncomfortable to be alone maybe, but I was uncomfortable too. It's an experience worth learning from. I feel like an important experience. I'm just gonna move the hell on. Number 10. Listen. That's it. That's all I wrote. What the hell? I guess this is related to the last point where I said you'll become a better listener. So when you become a better listener, you're able to see different perspectives more. And oh, this is also related to the thing I was talking about drama earlier. Your sight is less narrowed if you become a better listener, and you'll be able to see things from a better perspective, from a bigger perspective. Yeah, listening is so important. It's so simple, but just listen. I'm telling myself that too because I need to learn from that too. Just listen and be kind. Why did I write that under listen? Oh, okay. So I guess, I got it. When you listen and you get those bigger, better perspectives. Why did I say it like that? Perspectives? Anyway, you can start to understand why people act the way they do, and just like, you can understand people better. You can sympathize better, and maybe that'll cause you to become kinder because you're actually thinking about different circumstances that people might be going through just because you listen and you see things from a different perspective. When you try to understand why people act the way they do, then you can implement those observations in your own life. Number 11, communicate. Communicating is a huge thing in relationships, but I've never been in a romantic relationship. But I still know that communicating is important in any relationship. In a friendship, a romantic relationship, all the other relationships. For me, I'll say even communicating just with your friends is very important. I can't really think of examples on the spot, but Liv and I have been friends for quite a long time, and we communicate even for like small things because I feel like it's important to reassure whoever you're talking to and to receive reassurance. Like, don't make reassurance seem like a toxic thing. It's okay to want reassurance in any relationship. It's important to communicate about little things. Sometimes it might be awkward to communicate about something. Like, it might be something you might find little, so you don't want to communicate about it, or like it's awkward to communicate about it, but that's what makes it so important. Like, you have to. When you communicate, you're able to understand each other's emotions and situations in a relationship, so you don't leave the other person hanging and they don't leave you hanging. Because relationships, they always go both ways. So when you communicate, yeah. If you really want something to last, then you have to put in the effort to make it last. That's why even if it's hard to communicate something, when you know it has to be communicated, then do it. If you want the relationship to last, you have to communicate. Like, it's just that you just have to. Like I said, like I said, I have no romantic relationship experience, so I might not be the most qualified to be talking about this, but I've just learned from my surroundings because my two best friends are in relationships that they've been in since high school. Conclusions, finally. In the end, it really is easier said than done. I know, because none of this was easy for me and I'm still learning from it. And like I've been saying, nobody's perfect, including myself. So we all have flaws that we might overlook sometimes, and you just have to accept that even with all of this knowledge that I'm telling you and all of the knowledge that you already have, you might not know everything. There's always room to grow and learn, and that's why I made this video, to give you one perspective to look at that will hopefully help you grow. High school is such a huge character development arc. I didn't really fully grasp it until it was over. Definitely look and listen, like I said earlier, to other perspectives besides mine, because I don't know everything. Good luck in high school if you're an incoming freshman, and if you're already in high school, then keep going. You'll be fine. And if you're not in high school, then good luck with life. And I hope my advice was helpful in some way. Thank you for watching. Bye. Like, if you stayed till the end, here's the tea. It's not actually tea. From the looks of it, it may seem like this is my first YouTube video ever, but it's not my first YouTube video. If you're already subscribed, you would probably know that I had been making high school vlogs from junior year till senior year, and all of those vlogs contain very special memories for me and the people in my life, but I decided to have a fresh start before I head into college, I guess. So yeah, that's why you can't see any of the videos that I filmed from high school. So I chose to restart, and this is the start of my restart. I honestly have so many uncertainties still about what I'm doing, but I'm trying to be optimistic. So I look forward to what lies ahead. That sounds so horrible. Okay, now for real. Bye!